Hi guys, we Bob here, and I am back, and I'm in a new room now. My son has moved out. I'm trying to get this place set up to the way I want it. I think it's the first video I've done without a baseball cap on. Normally I do wear a baseball cap, but not today. I think I'd just go full buzz cut on the top. Anyway, yeah, my boy has moved out. He's away living his life, and we'll see whether he returns or not. So I'm not changing too much around in his room, but it does give me the capability to record in here with a bit more peace and quiet, which hopefully will mean more content. And this is the first of a kind of series of videos of community questions. We haven't done them for a while. I haven't seen many people do community questions. And many of these are going to be kind of movie based. Previously, a lot of them have been gaming based. But for this going forward, decided gaming and movies, but starting with movies. So, first off, this is like your top 5/6/7 movies of different genres. So it's kind of like a desert island thing. I was going to go for nice and nasty, and I thought, well, I haven't done enough research, and I want to do a video, and it's a day off work, so why not just go for it and let it be what it will be. So it's kind of putting out to Kev down a rabbit hole, Swifto if he's wanting to join in, Mainmeister, Delboy, Ian Hill, the Ramblings, can't even speak, and anybody else that wants to join in. So the first genre is sci-fi, and you can choose any sci-fi kind of movie. It can be a trilogy if you want. And for me, I've got some in physical copy, and other ones I'm just going to bring the picture across and show you. And so my first pick is going to be kind of a kind of, I guess, what could you call it? An obvious choice is Star Wars, the complete saga. Now, I believe this is the 6 movies. I only bought this the other week from CEX. I think it was like 15 quid for this, for the Blu-ray. I don't have this in Blu-ray, so still to watch it. Still to put in and see what the special features are. It's quite a nice box as well. I'm not a collector by any means, but I do plan to keep the movies that I like. It's kind of quite nice and blue when you open it up, and you can see there's a wee booklet in there and stuff like that. And the Phantom Menace is there. Clones. What's that one? Revenge of the Sith, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And then there's like bonus discs in there as well. So quite excited to get a kind of proper setup to start watching movies. I did have a nice big TV ordered, but it didn't go through for one reason or another, and I've kind of held off now from moving on to that. So that's my first sci-fi pick. So for genre, sci-fi, kind of whatever, something that's sci-fi, Blade Runner, I don't know. There's that many to choose from that fall under sci-fi. Originally, I did have a few other things. I think it's Spaceballs in here somewhere, but that doesn't turn up anymore. So the next one's action adventure. This could be The Matrix. It could be Die Hard. It could be some actiony kind of movie. And for me, again, I do have this one physical disc. And I've realised I've brought over another physical disc that I've not actually got in my list here, so I clearly was trying to cheat. But this one is my action, and it's going to be my favourite movie in trilogy, I suppose, but really just the first movie, and it's Jurassic Park. This is again my Blu-ray collection one. Nice kind of slip cover with the Blu-ray DVD case in there. And I did buy the 3D version of this as well, but I need to get the active glasses for my projector set up. So yeah, Jurassic Park was great. It's a movie that's it holds quite a dear place in my heart, because I think it was the movie I went to see the most at the cinema, multiple times. Went to see it at least 3 times from memory. At the time, it was mind blowing. It was just like, what is this movie? What is this? And I've got it like an MP3. I've got something in my eye. I've got an MP3. So when I'm at work, I can sometimes just put it on in the background, or if I'm doing some stuff around the house, I might just chuck it on in my ears as well. So that's Jurassic Park. It's a brilliant movie. Everybody knows it. and it's my choice for action adventure genre. Now, I'm probably not going to do a great deal of editing here because editing takes too long, and then I get bored, and then I don't put the video up at all. So probably not do so much editing. So my third pick is my comedy genre. Can't even say that. So comedy genre, and I'll see if I can just pull this straight into OBS. Let's see. Hey, there we go, and it's Mrs. Doubtfire. As you can see, hopefully that's showing up okay. Mrs. Doubtfire is a great movie. I'm just going to resize this down a wee bit. I loved it. I love it. I mean, there was so many to choose from in comedy genre. I wanted to kind of give some non kind of expected answers. I mean, I did think about trains, planes, automobiles. Did think about Spaceballs. That's where that one came in. And so, but Mrs. Doubtfire is just I don't really think there's any movie like it that I can think of that's fell into that kind of. It's kind of pulls at the heartstrings, and it also is so funny. And he's put on his bodysuit and he burns. He's like leaning over the cooker, and he's burning his kid on breasts. It's hilarious. Um, and just like the face falling out the window, and I won't give too much away because you might not have seen it. But no, Mrs. Doubtfire is a fantastic movie, and I would definitely take it as my kind of choice to a kind of desert island to keep me happy, sad, get a bit of the heartstring pull. So that's my pick for comedy. So hopefully you've seen Mrs. Doubtfire. If not, it's Robin Williams trying to see his kids because him and his wife are going through a difficult time, and he chooses to dress up as the nanny with the name Mrs. Doubtfire, and he puts on like an English accent and makes tea, and there's a lot of good comedy in there. So let's see if we can delete that somehow. How do you delete? There we go. Delete. Yes. So that's that deleted. So next on my list is realistic or drama. And this one kind of ticked a few boxes for me. One, it's funny. Two, it's a fantastic movie. And three, it kind of falls into the Christmas genre, so it doesn't mean I need to have a Christmas movie. And if Christmas comes around on this desert island, if that's what I'm doing, kind of desert island thing, this one definitely grabs that kind of box. And let's just resize this, and it's The Holdovers. So Paul Giamatti, Davine, Joy Randolph, and Dominic Sessa. I know Paul Giamatti from many movies, as I'm sure you do, and it's just a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen The Holdovers, the general plot is a group of kids are expected to stay at school, at the kind of boarding school, over Christmas, and spend time with the teacher. And the teacher's a bit of a kind of, what's the word they use from? I can't even remember what the word is, but he's just a not very nice teacher. He's not really got much of a passion for anything. He's been burnt by life a bit, and it's this kind of forming relationships. It's just a fantastic movie, so well worth a watch if you haven't seen The Holdovers. So that's my pick for realistic drama. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so my next pick, so that's like sci-fi, action, comedy, realistic drama. The next category I made up was bank robbery or mafia movie. And for me, I chose to go with, let's drop this over here, Point Break. Maybe not a typical choice, I don't know. It's maybe not a movie that everybody loves, I don't know. I think it's a fantastic movie. Surfing bank robbers, so sounds rubbish, but it works. Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze. It's just it's a movie that pulls you to wanting the main character to do different things, and you're not quite sure which is the right thing for him to do. If you've ever seen Donnie Brasco, you might understand what I mean. Donnie Brasco being based on a true story. The guy is so in depth with the crew he's torn. His loyalties are torn, and Point Break kind of hits on that kind of similar theme. So yeah, Point Break is a great movie, and it's under my genre of bank robbery and kind of mafia movie. You could obviously have The Godfather, Godfather Part Two, Donnie Brasco. Yeah, there's that many. That you could have a look at. Goodfellas, Casino, loads of them. So you have a think about it. Again, if I don't get any responses to this video, I don't mind. It's just I wanted to put out a kind of community kind of movie kind of question thing. Having been watching a lot of Ian Hill the Ramblings, Del Boy channels on movies, not so much on the gaming side, and I am probably more of a movie guy than I am a gaming guy, which is it was kind of news to me when I really thought about it. But excuse me, but very true. I've always loved my movies, and I love games, but I've watched so many more movies than I have games. And doing the research for this video, I did actually find a list of unknown titles, because I was going to go down the road of unknown, and that might be the kind of future kind of video, future community question of unknown movies that maybe people don't know so much about. Not your Star Wars, your Aliens, your Jurassic Parks, something that's a bit more off the wall. And I do have one genre in here for that a wee bit later, so stick around for that, which will be in about 5 minutes, if that. So Point Break for that pick there. Let's delete that one from my screen. Hopefully this is working and recording all right. I did do a test, so we're hoping it is working. Right, so my next one is a bonus extra. The movie that you probably have the most nostalgia for. The movie that brings up your, I guess, 9-year-old to kind of 12-year-old kid. What movie from kind of that age, 9 to 12, do you think really kind of sums up life, or the movie that you loved the most at that time? And for me, I actually meant to bring the physical copy over. So I'll quickly see if I can grab a front cover thing. Here's hoping you can't see things that, because otherwise there'll be spoilers of what the next movie is. Let's save that image as. We're getting there. Right, so the movie for me is The Goonies. So yeah, The Goonies is a fantastic movie. It's pirates, it's treasure, it's kids who are a bit bored and they're going out on their bikes. And for me, growing up in the kind of 80s, getting out on my bike was a big thing. Me and my friends would just kind of travel and ride to local places that were one they really supposed to be in, or you would go to the local beach park and you would just ride around all day. You'd have maybe £1 to buy your chippy. And The Goonies kind of captures all of that. It captures that feel. It captures the 80s, and it just kind of captures the main guy, Sean Astin, who plays Mikey. Has his wee asthma thing, and me having asthma, it was kind of I could relate to him a lot. And yeah, so The Goonies is just 80s. It's just pirates and treasure and adventure. So it's kind of fallen into my nostalgic genre. I hadn't called it that, to be fair. I just called it like a bonus extra, and then I was like, oh, but there's another bonus extra that I want to add into this. So let's say get rid of The Goonies, and excuse me again. So my off the wall pick, kind of something that isn't quite mainstream. Wasn't a massive movie at the time, perhaps. But it does something for you. And a lot of these movies that I've chosen, especially this, I could just put that on and listen to the soundtrack. Just give me the end credits, and I would just happily sit there and listen to it. It's the same for, Star Wars. I was trying to think what it was. I had another one that was sort of to do with the soundtrack. I mean, the holdovers, if you want Christmas music and very traditional Christmas music, the holdovers kind of fills that void. It's if you wanted a kind of quite a religious or Christian-y type soundtrack for Christmas, that's definitely hits the nail on the head. It certainly has that very, it's purposefully done vibe, is about that era, the kind of 60s, I think it's 60s, 70s era. And yeah, so definitely Holdovers does that. Next one, so is my off the wall pick, one that you don't really think many people would know. Sorry, I get some sirens going by the window there, so I don't know if my microphone picked up because I do have a noise gate on it. But let's drop this one over here. And it is not showing up properly. Oh, it is, there we go. Empire Records. Empire Records is another soundtrack that I owned on CD. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. I got rid of all my CDs, and then, as per normal, you regret it. Same as my DVDs. I got rid of hundreds of DVDs, and then now regret it. But again, if you need space at the time, you need space at the time. It's just one of those things. But Empire Records, I had a kind of big, massive crush on Liv Tyler at the time. Armageddon did make it into my list at one point as well. But Empire Records isn't a movie that I don't think many people will have seen. I could be wrong. You've obviously got what's her name? Bridget Jones. What's her name? Yous are all screaming it at the TV just now. Bridget Jones is played by Renée Zellweger. I got halfway through typing that. So Renée Zellweger. And then some unknowns. I think the wee guy in the front here, he was also in That Thing You Do with Tom Hanks, which is another movie that is Liv Tyler's in that as well. So you can kind of see a pattern forming here. But Empire Records was a kind of off the wall. I had the soundtrack. Again, not very many songs that you would recognise. It was very 90s. And so that's my kind of weird off the wall pick. It's a story about a group of kids who are in a record store like Our Price, as we would have had in the UK. Kind of HMV, I guess, would be another example. And this group of kids have, one of the kids has kind of gambled all the takings from the day before away, and they're trying to figure out how do we save the record shop from being sold to a big corporate kind of blockbusters. And the story is quite deep. It's quite a kind of character study. If you look at it, I mean, it's a wee bit kind of very surface level if you just watch it very surface level, but when you actually look into some of the characters in the story and their frailties and their weaknesses, it goes quite deep, goes quite dark in some places, and just kids trying to find who they are, their identity, trying to cling on to certain things the way they are for identity. It's very much that kind of movie. So definitely, if you haven't seen Empire Records, I would definitely recommend going and watching it, and probably watching it more than once, because, like I said, there is a lot of depth to it, and I think that's why I would take it with me, is the depth to that movie. As kind of a love story as well, but yeah, there's a lot of strings in the movie. I don't know much about the background. I would like to actually get this on DVD or Blu-ray just to get some extras, get some background on the story, the script, and why they shot certain things, where they shot it, whatever. I don't know how many kind of extras there is on the DVD, but yeah, that's it. That's where I was going with this. It's an 18-minute video so far, probably about 20 minutes by the time I say cheerio. So yeah, Empire Records. So just to quickly recap, I had Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Holdovers, Point Break, The Goonies, and Empire Records, I believe. You'll have to excuse me. I've not been well for like 2 weeks. I haven't done an art video for like months because my boy was moving out and everything's been a bit of a transition. So yeah, definitely check out Empire Records. Just delete that now. And that is the community question I'm putting out there: is what is your favourite sci-fi movie? Yeah, an action movie, adventure, comedy, realistic or kind of drama, bank robbery, mafia, guilty pleasure, I guess, was kind of one of them I did have on there, but bonus extra. Bonus extra is kind of what I called it. Nostalgic trip between the 8 and 12 years old. What was your favourite movie? And off the wall, something that maybe I've never heard of and it's worth a watch. A lot of the kind of channels I've been watching recently definitely have opened my eyes to a number of movies that I've never heard of or thought of or seen, and it's been good to actually try and get these movies and start watching a couple of them just to kind of expand my horizons. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and wee Bob is out. Cheers, bye.